Hi guys, it's Hannah from Trekitt and I'm here in the beautiful Hoff Woods just outside of Hereford today to talk to you about the brand new Fairview Trek 70 from Osprey. Now this shares quite a lot of characteristics from the already well-loved and existing Fairview range from Osprey. But with a few extra add-ons that make it not just a pack that will really effectively haul kit, but it actually is just at home in cities as it is for actual trekking. So the back system in this is more advanced than the existing Fairview, meaning that you can comfortably carry quite heavy loads for quite a long period of time. Okay, so what's it made out of? So the Trek is an incredibly tough traveling bag. So the front and the top of the pack are made using a 420 HD nylon. So this nylon is slightly softer than the rest of the pack. They've used it on the pockets, that, so where you'll need to stash your kit, it's a little bit more malleable, a little bit soft to the touch. And then round on the bottom and on the sides of the pack, you have a really tough and very abrasion resistant 500 denier nylon. So these are the areas that are more likely to take a bit of a beating or get scuffed up when they're on conveyor belts or getting chucked into the back of a bus. So this combination of weights of fabric means that you don't only get a bag that is still going to look great after years of traveling and use and abuse, but it's also comparatively lightweight to other bags in this kind of range. So let's move round to the back of the bag and we'll just look at this beautiful back system, and this is what really sets it apart from the rest of the Farpoint and Fairview range. So this is actually more like a proper trekking bag rather than just an airport hauler. So this kind of back system is the sort of thing that we've seen in other bits in Osprey's range, and it means that you can comfortably carry much heavier loads for much longer periods of time. So it's really important if you're going to be traveling like Southeast Asia, where there aren't necessarily great roads, and you're going to have to be hauling a lot of kit. So in the back system, you've got this lovely suspended back mesh. Now this sits about an inch away from the pack itself, which means that no matter what you've got in the pack, the bits aren't going to jab you in the back and make you uncomfortable over a long period of time. The other thing that this back system does really well is it means that you've got a constant flow of air between you and the pack. So especially important in hotter climates, it means that you get less of a sweaty back because you've got some space to let the sweat escape. She's getting the horsey onto the thing. So moving away from the back system then, we've got these really lovely, chunky and very well padded shoulder straps. Those are really comfortable even after extended periods of use. They are then coated on the inside with this very breathable mesh. So again, this mesh, very similar to the back system, creates some space and allows sweat vapor to escape, meaning you don't get a build-up of sweat under your shoulder straps. Moving up from the shoulder straps, then you get these two load lifter points. That basically means that if you have the back length adjusted right down, you can adjust it to this little buckle, and if you have the back length adjusted on the higher loops, then you can set it to the top load lifter buckle. So that basically aligns your center of gravity properly and just means that you're going to be much more comfortable carrying this pack for long periods of time. So because this fits like a proper rucksack rather than just being an airport hauler, I would recommend that you follow this link up here and just give our how to fit your rucksack video a quick watch as well. Okay, so moving down, you've then got these very chunky, lovely big hip fins. Now this is where most of the weight of the pack is going to be transferred. So they're nice and chunky and they can spread the weight out very evenly, and they're very comfortable over long periods of use. They, a bit like the shoulder straps, they also are covered in that breathable mesh, just meaning that you don't get masses of sweat buildup underneath those hip belts. Now I've got you a little bit closer, I can show you how to actually adjust this back system. Now this back system is very similar to the ones that we have seen in the Rook and Wren series. So what you do, it's a 4-point ladder system, and what you would do is you would just pull this little toggle so it pops out. There you go, so he's popped out of the ladder, and I'll do the same on this side, and then you would slide the whole thing up. Okay, so we're going to break down the features. Now bear with me because this is going to be a long section. We're going to start from the outside of the bag and then I will unpack it and I will show you what's on the inside too. So starting from the front, which makes the most sense, you have these two compression straps, and these are called their straight jacket system. And that basically means that you can cinch down the bag when it's not full to capacity. That's really good because that keeps the weight closer to your back, which is exactly what we want, especially when we're hauling a bag of this size. But it also stops loose bits from just sloshing around in your pack. Underneath that little straight jacket system then you've got these two nylon loops. Now these nylon loops will attach a Daylight or a Daylight Plus bag. So the Daylight Plus bag has these two little extra buckles on the side which just slot into these nylon loops a little bit like a button. And then the compression straps, the straight jacket system on the outside, are big enough so that you can cinch the Daylight pack into the bag as well. Those little nylon loops aren't only designed to take a Daylight, you can just use them as a bungee system and attach your own straps to use that as a bit of extra storage as well. So actually also, just while I'm here, underneath this straight jacket system you do also have this side zip here. This little front pocket is very generous. That will fit in a magazine or it's big enough for a laptop as long as your laptop's in a case, and just adds a little bit of extra storage to the front of the bag. So moving around to the top of the pack, whoop. Either side of the lid you've got these two little nylon loops. Now again, you can use that as a bungee system. You can attach a mat or a sleeping bag to the top of the bag when you're trekking. But you also get these two very generous lid pockets. So one right in the top here, and then a bigger one just underneath it. Now this bigger one, you'll see he's got a little air cover tag just underneath it. So you open it up and this is the air cover. Right, so this deserves a little bit of explaining all on its own. This air cover doubles as a rain cover. So, right, let's get this bag down, open this up, tip. So this has a lovely big U-zip on the back. And if you were going to use it as a air cover, so that basically is what you would use when you're going on the aeroplane, and it just keeps all of the straps and the buckles and everything in one place, so you're not going to snag it on a conveyor belt and you're not going to lose a strap and be very sad. So what you do is you would put this in here, squeeze it into the air cover, and then very simple, nice big zip to seal it all in, and there it is. Very neat. You've got a nice couple of grab handles here as well, so you can very easily haul it off the conveyor belt the other side of the airport. And this zip here as well does clasp together so that you can stick a lock through it. And if you were going to use it as a rain cover, you would roll this little bit up, tuck it in. On the inside of the air cover then you have these little toggles, and you just attach these little toggles to the corresponding nylon loops on the pack. Okay, so that's it for the air cover. Just below that little zip for the air cover then you do also have this lovely big grab handle, and then another big chunky grab handle on the side, and that's just to really help you haul your bag in between, transferring between buses and airports and just generally traveling. You do also have these very lovely generous mesh pockets on the side. These mesh pockets have dual entry, so we've seen this on a few other Osprey trekking packs. So it means that you've got a pocket in the top. You also have an opening in the side. Now that opening in the side means that you can access your bottle from the side and you don't have to ask a friend to put your bottle back or injure your shoulder while you're putting it back in. Just while we're on the side as well, you do also have these two compression straps, one here and one on the other side, again just to help you cinch that pack down if it's not full to capacity. Okay, so I've emptied the pack, so we're going to take a look inside. So to get in, you'd undo the straight jacket system, undo the big, there they are, unzip this. You can see, look at how generous that is, goodness me. So this opens right up so that you can access all of your kit, so a bit like a duffel bag. so that you don't have to, you know, fish all of your kit out for something that's right in the bottom. So you have these two beautiful big compression fins. So when your bag isn't packed to capacity, again, a bit like the straitjacket system on the outside, you can pack everything in and cinch it all down. Behind those compression fins then, you've got this lovely big pocket here. I'll do a little close-up and show you. But this pocket basically will take a hydration bladder. So that means that you'll be really comfortable in this pack for hours and you can stay well hydrated. So it's got a clip in the top so that you won't lose your bladder to the bottom of your bag. And then a little pocket on the top of that clip, which is your hose exit point. And that basically pops out, there you go, on the back of that pack. And that can just sit down the side of one of your shoulder straps. And it has little elasticated loops here for your hose, just so that that doesn't swing about. So back on the inside then, you have this little flap here. So what you do, again, it's got toggles, a bit like the rain cover, and corresponding nylon loops. So you would do up the toggles to the nylon loops, and then you have a separate bottom compartment, which can be accessed, I'll show you, by a zip on the outside of the pack. And that just gives you a place to keep, you know, smelly things separate to your clean things. Before we move to the outside of this pack as well, it is good to point out that the right compression fin also has a little security pocket. At the bottom of the pack then, you do also have these little nylon straps. So that's a nice place to stash a sleeping mat or a sleeping bag. If there's something you're not going to use, then they can be removed completely. You do also get two very generously sized pockets on the hip belt. Those are a really good place to stash a GPS or, you know, a packet of jelly babies. Moving up onto the shoulder straps then, as if all of this space isn't enough for you, you have these two little buckles on the shoulder straps. Now, we did speak earlier about the nylon loops at the front that are compatible with a Daylight or a Daylight Plus. Well, Osprey have also released a new day pack called the Daylight Travel. Now, the buckles on the Daylight Travel are big enough to fit in these buckles, whereas on the Daylight and the Daylight Plus, they're a bit too small. But that means that you can just attach Daylight Travel to the front of you and carry it around in airports like that, and it's just a bit more accessible. They do also, above, have a couple of nylon loops. If that is how you would like to attach your Daylight or Daylight Plus, you can still attach them at the points there. The chest strap as well is adjustable along those nylon loops. So it is a bit like the toggles we've seen on the rest of the bag. It is just like a little button. So that button just sits into those nylon loops very comfortably. So that's it, guys. That is the wonderful Fairview Trek 70 from Osprey. The perfect buddy to take on your world traveling adventures, and will also quite comfortably squeeze in 2 people's worth of kit for a long weekend away. Incredibly tough, very, very comfortable on your back, and just features a whole plethora of storage options. It really is quite amazing. We do stock these in a couple of colours, so if I have convinced you that this is the pack for you and your travels, then head to the link up here, have a bit more of a read, see the other colours that we do. It is just good to note that we do also stock this in the male version, so that's the Farpoint Trek, and Paul did do a video on that earlier in the week, so do go and check that out too. And finally, if you love the content that we're putting out and you enjoy watching our videos, then do hit the subscribe button. We really, really appreciate it. And you get notified when we send out new videos. And that's it for now. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.